Uh-oh. There have been a lot of reports lately about D-list human Blake Lively and her dragon Taylor Swift. However, sources told me that they were not true at the time. This was last week. A lot can change in 7 days. Literally minutes ago, TMZ just posted an article about the hair care professional and Travis Kelce's girlfriend. Now, I mentioned the source because it's important for you to decide for yourself if you consider TMZ to be credible or not. I do consider TMZ to be credible, much more so than, let's say, a publication from the UK. Any of them. The exclusive story on TMZ has the headline, Taylor Swift, bad blood with Blake Lively. I'm not your dragon. The plantation princess must be pooping herself. Because as is often the case, even if this is not entirely true, the negative headlines add to the drama, and the negative headlines cause strain in a relationship or a friendship. So even if it's not true right now, it might be. But like I said, I do think TMZ is credible. Let's get into this story together. Okay, TMZ says, Taylor Swift feels she was used by Blake Lively in her war with Justin Baldoni, and she resents Blake calling her one of her dragons and leveraging her name. Leveraging Taylor Swift's name is something that the accused extortionist has done repeatedly. TMZ continues, as we reported, there was a critical meeting at Blake and Ryan Reynolds' NYC penthouse with Justin to discuss a scene that Blake had rewritten for It Ends With Us. Justin has said the meeting got super heated and he felt ambushed because Ryan and Taylor showed up. But a well-connected source close to Taylor tells TMZ Taylor came to Blake's apartment at the time Blake told her to, not knowing anyone else would be there. In other words, Taylor had no idea there was a meeting going on with Justin. And my sources told me that as well about the A-lister in her mind and her bestie. And that Taylor feels ambushed, wasn't expecting any of this because she didn't go for the meeting. She went because that's when Blake told her to go. According to TMZ, quote, the source goes on to say, Justin was about to leave after the 2-hour meeting as Taylor walked in, and she was introduced to him for the first and only time. We're told all Taylor said to Justin was how excited she was to see the movie because he was her friend's boss. That doesn't align with how Baldoni described things in his lawsuit. He says that Taylor was praising the hair care professional and her rewrites. And because of that, he felt the need to go along with what Taylor and Ryan were saying. According to TMZ, our source says Taylor believes Blake. Yep, this is what I heard too. I really believe this now. Our source says Taylor believes Blake timed her meeting with Justin so Taylor would arrive before he left and is baffled by Blake later characterizing her as her dragon. The source adds, it's weird to say that about a friend. I think TMZ and I might have similar sources. If you don't remember the whole dragon reference, in Justin Baldoni's lawsuit against the wife of Scarlett Johansson's ex-husband, he included a text message that the Woody Allen apologist sent him. The up-and-coming film editor wrote to him by text, quote, "If you ever get around to watching Game of Thrones, you'll appreciate that I'm Khaleesi, and like her, I happen to have a few dragons. For better or worse, but usually for better, because my dragons also protect those I fight for. So really, we all benefit from those gorgeous monsters of mine. You will too, I can promise you." Those words are already coming back to haunt the Nepo baby. Back to the TMZ article. Remember, Blake texted Justin after the meeting, referring to herself as Khaleesi from Game of Thrones and Taylor and Ryan as her protective dragons. Pause. What's especially ironic about that all is that Khaleesi started off Game of Thrones as a hero, right? And she ended up a villain and dead. She had it coming. She had it coming. She only had herself to blame. If you'd have been there, if you'd have seen it, I bet you would have done the same. Oh, shoot. This article just took a turn. Ow! According to TMZ, oh my God, quote, "And there's more. The source says Taylor is also learning Blake has been inappropriately leveraging her name for a long time, like telling a young actress that Taylor cast her, which simply did not happen." Blondie is, I think, done with the shampoo company owner. Back to the article. TMZ dropped a new podcast Wednesday, Two Angry Men, in which Harvey asked Justin's lawyer, Brian Friedman, about subpoenaing Taylor for a deposition. It's easy to read between the lines, but one thing is clear. Taylor feels used. The article finishes by saying, "This is a huge falling out. Taylor is godmother to one of Blake and Ryan's kids." Wait, I think that's not correct. TMZ, you gotta fix that quickly. It is my understanding that Taylor is the godmother to several of the Beanie aficionados' children. And I believe every word of this TMZ article because it echoes something that I heard from my sources last week. You remember that video I shared with you all? But at the time, I said that they were still friends. That's what I was told. It's clear. Oops. Thoughts on this latest development? Are you surprised that Taylor Swift is finally distancing herself from the newly minted C-list actress? Lots to discuss. Let's get into it in the comments section. And as always, thank you for your support.